I live in Massachusetts, you live in Texas. Because I've got kids, I'm not moving anywhere, and you've got a business. She's like, I don't know. I was like, how about this? If you shut your business down, I move to Massachusetts, I'll just give you half my business. So the thought process on my end is that if she's going to take this risk to shut the business down that she's been working to grow for years at that point, I might as well take on some risk as well and give her a business.
All right, guys, welcome to the pod. I know there's not a ton of room there, but we'll make it through. Introduce yourselves first, and like, what do you guys do, and then how did you guys get into that? Let's start there.
Yeah, so I don't know, I go by Doc Raj. My name is Roger St. Ange. This is Caitlin, and we have a coaching program for physical therapists where we teach them how to do their job really, really well. So I went through a residency, 2 fellowships, and there's like less than 0.01% of PTs that have gone through all the stuff that I have. And let's be real, like most physical therapists, rehab chiros, like they suck at their job. And then they get into cash practice, and it really prevents them from being able to make the money that they want to make, right? And I was coaching business for cash practices for a little while for a different group, and I saw that problem over and over and over and over again.
The system just like doesn't set anybody up for success.
Yeah, you want to talk a little more about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, my experience as a PT kind of helped as well, along with Rogers. But I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I had zero confidence. I like felt all the things. Like I am the avatar. I was when I came out of school. I was like just copying what people did, doing just stupid interventions. I knew I didn't know what I was gonna do, but then I was like, I hate this insurance model, and so then I started my own cash practice and struggled for friggin' 2 years, and I burned every relationship into the ground. I all I did was work and marketing events, and I only knew how to bring clients in through local marketing. So I was just constantly going. And the problem was my skill set because I would bring the people in and then nobody would stay. It was like over the year, I had probably an average of between 18 and 20% of a conversion rate from like the person coming in to actually buying a plan of care.
Like a free, and when they come in, it's free, right?
No, that was paid. Yeah,
it was paid.
So the conversions on the front end of like a free eval or the discovery call to the eval were probably like even worse because I had more people sign up for the free thing. Yeah, it was bad.
It was fucking terrible.
So we both had cash practices. And Roger and I met through
me selling her into 2 different programs.
Yeah. And he was like, this is long distance. He was in Massachusetts. I was in Texas. And he's like, if you close your business and come partner with me, I'll give you half my business. And I was like, okay. So I closed my business, moved across country, partnered with Roger. And he gave me a little bit of mentorship over 30 days, like over the first month, and my sales, my conversions skyrocketed like 90% or above. And so it wasn't the business systems that changed, which is like the sexy thing that everybody wants to focus on. Like I was doing all these sales, all these whatevers, sales, marketing, all that, and fixing the skill set, fixed everything. But that's how like Roger and I got into what we do now, because we were originally both the brick and mortar skill sets, and then brick and mortar practices, and now we focus on skill set.
Yeah, and her experience has been super helpful because I didn't have like a typical struggles because I got out of school and I was like, well, I fucking suck, and I immediately got into these programs. So I spent the first 3 years of my career like just hammering all this continuing education, like driving 100 miles one way twice a week, 1 week in the month, like cost me like 50 grand, and most people aren't willing to put any money into their skill set. Which is great because now it's like really come full circle.
Yeah,
pretty lucrative for us on the back end, with your help for sure. But her experience has really helped us with the marketing too, because you got to talk to their struggles. I'm like, I don't fucking know the struggles because I never went through them. Like I didn't experience
like me,
a lot of
asked
them.
me.
Yeah.
Like when you say that, like what do you mean? Because you both had cash practices. So when you say you didn't go through the struggles, like what do you mean by that?
So like when I started treating, like clinically.
Oh, okay, understood. I was like, you learned how to do the thing, but like the business stuff, not so much. And then like, was it more the business, but not the actual? I'm saying the thing, but
So I sucked clinically, and I was really not confident, but it was just like a fake it thing.
Got it. Okay.
And then I just opened my business, and I was like, I'm gonna learn everything about business. And so you immerse yourself. And I was like, I don't have time to work on my clinical skill set. I want to work on my business.
What kind of set is marketing, sales, and marketing.
So for you, like, were you trying to say it was the opposite? Like, you had a lot of clinical experience, but not as much business experience?
Yeah. Well, when we met, we both had business experience. So when I opened my business, I had already done the residency and 2 fellowships. So I was like a fucking badass clinician, and I never struggled in business because when people came and saw me, they were so fucking confident that as they gave me money, their problem was going to be solved. Right. So like I never struggled with the conversions. I didn't really have to go and do a ton of marketing because word of mouth just like flourished. So when she came on board, like, when we started growing the PRA, the Performance Rehab Authority, you know, you got to speak to your clients' struggles, right? The things that they're experiencing. And I didn't have any of those struggles. Like I didn't go through like these long periods of self-doubt. I didn't take a bunch of like bullshit classes. I didn't spend time trying to learn from my coworkers and piece all this knowledge together and clinically. And I didn't like do the fake it till I make it thing because I immediately found somebody that I viewed as an expert and paid them for their time to teach me.
But do they not teach that in school, or it's just not good?
It's just
Yeah. It doesn't set you up for success at all.
Oh,
It teaches you, like, I learned pediatrics, neuro, how to work with geriatrics. Like, you learn how to work with brain injuries. You learn everything. And so if you want to go into ortho and you want to work with people who have sports injuries, like, you're not really set up to be a master of something.
school teaches you to pass a written test because you need a road exam. And then working with humans is a lot more complicated than a black and white fucking test. So like, how do you take your knowledge and fucking organize it to actually get a result?
Okay.
Right? Because when you graduate, you've got a bunch of knowledge, like she was saying, about all these different things. You don't know shit really about any of them. And then you get a human in front of you and it's just like, I don't know. Let me do some random tests and give you random exercises.
So why were you so eager to give her part of your business?
I-
And like at the time, were you guys even an item yet, or were you just like,
Yes. So, yes, we were dating. It really wasn't that long. It was like a few months.
wow?
Probably like stupid from all accounts, but I'm like,
No big on taking risks.
yeah, you take massive, that's like we take massive risks
Obvious.
all the time. But because I was like, well, listen, like, what am I looking for in a woman? Right? Like I was like reflected on my other like relationships, and I really wanted, like we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
like someone to fucking grow and hustle and build with and like
Yeah.
do all that stuff. And I was like, shit,
Yeah.
she fits the bill. Like fitness, like she's a good human, like all these other things. We meshed really well. I live in Massachusetts, you live in Texas. That was like what I said. I was like, I live in Massachusetts, you live in Texas. Where the fuck is this going? Because I've got kids, I'm not moving anywhere, and you've got a business. She's like, I don't know. And I was like, how about this? If you shut your business down, I move to Massachusetts, I'll just give you half my business. So the thought process on my end is that if she's going to take this risk to shut the business down that she's been working to grow for years at that point, I might as well take on some risk as well and give her a business.
Yeah. So it ended up that when I moved up there, I ended up
Our businesses are relatively the same size.
Okay.
So it's not like I had this huge business and she had.
But like, it sounds to me, again, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds to me like you had a better grasp at the time of clinically plus the marketing. Is that because you said Caitlin said when she got there, 90% conversion rate.
Yeah, so she's really good at marketing. So I'm really good at being a physical therapist. She's really good at organizing and running the business. So our skill sets mesh really well.
Okay.
So like, I'm really good at things over here, and still.
So wait, what was the reason for the 90% success rate? Was it just the clinic?
It's just changing clinical. Because I was trying to sell people with like, what magic words can I say to make you trust me? And it wasn't the magic words. It's the hour that you spend with me that gets you to know, like,
So Roger's skill set really helped push out over the top.
So Shake, it helped me make things make sense where I was like, Tanner, I actually know what the fuck is causing your elbow pain. Like, let me help you fix that.
God.
So when I got to Massachusetts, I ended up being in charge of like all the people. I took over all the operations. I basically like ran everything.
Got it.
And so I had my caseload. I brought up like I also did pelvic health, so like a women's department there too. But I basically ran the business and did patient care, and then Roger did mostly patient care, and then
mentoring the employees and like internal training. Yeah. So like I'm not an organized human. I wasn't an organized human. I'm much better now. But she came in. She was like, "Where's all the paperwork? Where's all the systems documented?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're in my head." Like we follow them. They're like somewhere in here, but they're like outdated by like a year because I haven't like updated them.
that was the phase I had.
Yeah. She was like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "Who's your attorney?" I was like, "I don't know."
But how many staff did you have?
What do we have? 3?
Uh,
Couple front desk,
yeah, 2 front desk and 1 PT at the time I came on, and
and then we grew it
then
up
we
to
grew
5
up.
clinicians.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she moves there. You guys start going into business together. How long did you guys continue to run that business? Because I want to kind of set up the timeline for when you guys went from that to online.
Yeah. So we ran that for 2 years. At the start of the 3rd year, we started the PRA, and that whole year that we built the PRA, we just started the 2nd year of the Performance Rehab Authority. That whole year we were doing both. And so I was
And like, is a peer, just for everyone who's listening, what's the PRI?
it's our clinical mentorship
Got
program
it.
for
Okay.
physical
Yeah,
therapists.
the Performance Rehab Authority.
Sure.
It's like a mouthful, so short.
Sure.
Yeah.
And was that online or in person?
Online.
Online. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So we were growing that. We were also learning the difference between starting an online business and running the brick and mortar one that we had, which is so different.
Yeah.
But you learn the skills in online that you can actually apply to marketing for brick and mortar.
What made you guys want to start moving online?
So honestly, we were originally going to try to franchise our clinics. Like we took,
Right, yeah,
yeah,
right,
that were our one-on-one.
Yeah.
And then the problem is that physical therapists suck, most of them, right? So like we would hire people, and then I would have to fucking train them, and I'm like, this is fucked up. You should be paying me to train you, right? So we're like, how do we solve this problem? All right, now we're going to be in a people development business. We're going to start the PRA, the Performance Rehab Authority. We're going to train people, and then that's going to be the pipeline to have like employees and franchisees. So like people will pay me to train them, and then we'll have a pipeline of people to be able to offer
Of
to.
qualified people to hire so that we knew they wouldn't come in and basically fuck things up.
And then we were like tens of thousands of dollars deep in attorney fees, and we were like, fuck the Federal Trade Commission. And then we had that one-on-one with you, and you said one sentence: you have to give yourself permission to reinvent yourself. And then we walked out front, and we're
Looked
like,
at each other and we're like, we don't want to do it.
like in front of your building, and we were like, all right, we're gonna shut the clinic down, and we just made the decision right there.
But like, what was the clinic just not that profitable? Like how go for it.
Yeah, it was profitable. For one clinician, we brought in $50,000, which is like
But it was just the idea of franchising it.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's just that like we didn't want to do it anymore, right? Like when you are doing that, it's one-on-one, time for money,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like when you start hiring employees again, you can hire yourself up. It's like then you have to grow it so much to where like you've got layers of management between you, so you don't have to fucking deal with everything. And in order to get to a point where like you have the owners not treating you, if somebody leaves, then you don't have to like jump in. It's like then you got to deal with all the employee problems. We just want to fucking deal with it. We just want to deal with the employee problems and all the issues that come with it. And we had done it for so long, we were just burnt out with it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, it makes total sense. But yeah, I mean, franchising was gonna be a long path for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys pivoted, and now you show physical therapists how to do what you guys basically were doing successfully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Great.
What was like? What made you guys decide on that path specifically? And I mean, it might have been me, but if it was something else, like what made you guys feel more confident about going down that path?
Well,
So specifically like the path of
Just like
The-
like online, the coaching,
Consultant.
exactly, yeah. The consultant,
So
yeah.
with we basically already had so much built for what we were going to do with the franchise. Like I had already started writing my book at that rate. Like me had started making all these modules. We had a whole program, and I was like, fuck, that's like months and months. And also like we've created all of these things. It can still be helpful for people. We just don't want a franchise. And so we knew the skill set would make a big difference to any clinician, especially if they have a cash practice, because it literally changed their life.
Right.
But then we realized that we could still have what started as a licensing program with teaching people how to use our business systems and basically like plug and play the playbook that we wrote on running and growing a cash practice.
Yeah. So okay, so you guys started that. When did you guys start? Like 3 months ago?
November? So
November. 6 months ago. Wow, that's crazy. It's been that long. Okay, so I think it'll be good for the listeners just to hear like the adversity you guys went through. So talk about talk about like the beginning, then talk about what happened and like talk about now. And I think that alone will be very valuable for people who are listening.
Yeah.
And again, guys, like I just reminders like that's their online consulting program now for physical therapists. So just FYI. Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So the clinical education, like the PRA side of things, we started that in January of 2024. The licensing program, the business side of things, we launched pre-sale in November. And so that was when we started to get the ball rolling on that. Everything was going pretty good. So we started working with you in November, and crushed it in the first like 60 days. And then in February, suddenly like Meta shut down everything. So
Yeah, when you say crush, like if you guys are still like, I want people to understand like crush, like what
0 to 120K
right
per month.
yeah,
yeah, which is crazy. So like it's not just like 0 to like $5,000 is crushing, like they were literally crushing.
Yeah, 0 to 120K.
Okay.
But even if we go back a little bit further than that, like when we were initially doing like trying to get the online coaching off the ground, like we tried different coaches and we didn't have like with you, like we get the support of the team, like we get access to so much.
Well, what did you not have with like others coaching?
They were just, it was like
specific like strategies and then the support to roll them out.
it was like, hey, you need to do this. Go find somebody to do it. And everything was like more money, more money, more money. And then we had to invest in like different
Do what specifically though? Is it like automations or like shit like that or
So automations, but then also like specific help with, let's say, the client acquisition strategy. So like lead generation. And then
so
once
they wouldn't tell you like a strategy?
yeah, they would tell us how, but like the actual details. Like, yeah, run ads through this, set up.
Oh, gotcha. But you're like, but like what to say, how like
How to set it all up, how to
so not granular enough.
yeah, all the copywriting, like all of the funnel building, like all that stuff. Like we paid a shit ton of money like to funnel builders and like all that stuff. So like yeah, it helped us organize and it was all fucking stupid in the end.
Gotcha. Okay.
Small segue here. Like our clinic floated the creation of the PRA. Like while we were doing all of that, we took out $100,000 line of credit, like as we were doing that too, so that we could invest in everything. And then we're like spending more and more money. Clinic was helping, like Clinic was floating us. And then we get to this point where when we decided to shut the clinic down, that we were like, okay, we don't have that money anymore. And then that's where you come in. And then, and then we did that in 60 days and turned things around. But yeah, so
Yeah, so it was there's some struggles in there beforehand where it's just like we had coaches tell us what to do, but then we had to hire other coaches or other people to do all the stuff. And it was like a fucking mess because like the left hand didn't talk to the right hand, like all the automations in the back end, like all that stuff was like so parsed out and nothing, there's not a system for everything to talk to each other. It didn't make any fucking sense. It's super confusing.
Yeah.
Man, that's frustrating.
spent like $10,000 on trademarking that we didn't even need anymore. We spent $20,000 on 2 funnels.
Yeah, and it's like, but the like, did they not even show you how to do it? So it's like, I won't do it for you, but like, here's some videos or nothing.
They sent us to other people to like hey,
It's like a
use
Yeah. Like I love how
That's
very
very weird, bro.
yeah.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I have a little bit more because I've been in business a long time. I'm like, maybe it's a beginning or whatever. But
Yeah.
like that, I don't know. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Like that's like because if we don't do it for you, because earlier in my business, I didn't have the team I did now, so I wouldn't do as much. But I'd be like, this is what you need to do. Like, here, watch these videos, or like, if you genuinely help, let's hop on a call and we'll go through it together.
Dude, the level of support that we get from you is like, if you don't know, like unmatched from any other coach you've hired.
Okay,
Like,
great.
legitimately, like if we fucking reach out to you, get back to us right away. You're like, yo, I got someone on my team, or I fucking know somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to reach out to the specific member of the team that does that, hopping on calls with Mac and Lisa and like all these people,
Yeah.
they're on it.
Good.
Our problems get solved so fast.
Good to hear. Yeah, because I think that's what drove me, like, full transparency, what drove me nuts when I was building my business is, like, got hired people and, like, they wouldn't do that. And I was like, bro, like, that's literally why I pay you money. So, like, you can do it so I won't have to do it. Otherwise, like, I would just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, like go through you said it briefly, but like so you guys are at 120,000 a month, crushing, like top of the world, and then like what happens?
So that month, we were so excited. So like, I'm in charge of all money, and I was like, Roger, I'm gonna start paying down some debt. I'm gonna like, we're crushing it. And then I get a text one morning, and Roger's like, my Instagram account just got suspended. And so he appealed it, and it came back a few hours later. And then like 2 hours later, he got an email that he got permanently banned.
Yeah. So it got suspended. No fucking reason why. Appealed it, and they approved the appeal. And then it was just all of a sudden you're permanently removed from Instagram. Then because
Importance there is like, so
You guys still know like what happened?
so actually when I looked into it, I don't know if I talked to you about this. It said something about child pornography on there.
And which is like is ridiculous.
Yeah. Something about child pornography. And it was like we had one ad that we were running where Caitlin, it's not even like sexy anything. Like she was like in fucking like shorts, but like here. Yeah, like screenshots from our course. So she's wearing shorts to here, and like the ad got suspended or something. I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
I'm in a sports bra, and he's like assessing me for
That sounds like it sounds like the bot picked up something and like said it was
child pornography.
I was like, what the fuck? So, but not only did it shut down our Instagram accounts, we were completely.
It started with the Instagram, and then your personal Facebook went down, and we're like, okay, we're gonna pivot, use my account.
And then her account went down.
Yeah.
Every single account that we had linked to our at all together, completely down permanently.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking figure anything out.
So Instagram, Facebook, that means ad accounts, that means business manager, everything.
Yeah.
And so then we tried creating new accounts. Those got banned. We did it again, and it worked until we made an ad account, and then we put our credit card information, which Meta tracks everything. And then it saw our credit card, and it was like, nope, you're the same person.
Yeah.
Banned that too. So we had to literally, all of this took weeks. And just until we started this like strategy of, okay, we literally made a new fucking business, like new LLC. We got new devices, so new laptops, new cell phones, new cell phone numbers. We got a new domain, like created new everythings. And then we couldn't log on to the same network from both devices. And so like I had to go to a coffee shop on my old logins on my dirty computer. I call it my burner computer and my burner phone. And then download everything to an external hard drive, go home, put the hard drive in, upload everything to the drive for our new business. And then all while doing that, still take care of clients and not drop the ball with anything. And then Roger's working on lead generation. And like, and that's the thing is all this is going on behind the scenes, and nobody gives a fuck that you're not sleeping for a week and that you're doing all this stuff.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, she's a fucking hustler. Like, I would sleep, you know, because we had to transfer we had to fucking rebuild the entire business. Like, and she's not kidding. Like, we couldn't go, when she says we couldn't go on the same network with the same device, like any phone that or computer or anything that was logged into any of those accounts at any point in time, we could not use because Facebook fucking pixels and tracks everything. And we couldn't use the IP addresses. So if that device was on the IP address, the same IP address as our new thing, then it would cross-link it and it would shut us all down again. So brand new everything.
And it's been 6 weeks at this point, to the point where we're starting that strategy. Because Matt told us early on, he's like, I mean, that's an extreme thing that you can do. And we were like, we don't want to do that. We want to like try
some other things.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
And then so we get to this point, we hadn't had any sales in 6 weeks because we didn't have, like, we were coming through our email list, we were doing everything else that we could, and we're like, okay, the timer's running out. We're gonna pull again from our line of credit that we've just paid down. We're maxing out our credit cards. Like I told you, like, hey Tanner, we're gonna plan on running on empty. We're expending all new devices. We're doing all of this stuff, but like as we hit zero, we're gonna crush it.
Right.
So
that's what I was saying about her being a hustler. I was gonna say, like, I would sleep for like a couple hours, like 3-4 hours a night, and like at the end of the week of like transferring hours, she's like, I've slept a total of 5 hours this week. Yeah. I was like, shit, because she's literally working around the clock to make the fucking transition happen.
There was one night that like right before we did the whole device switch and everything thing, Roger had been talking to ChatGPT and looking up things about Wi-Fi and networks and all this kind of stuff. And I spent that whole night just like researching things. And I remember I sent Roger like a 5-minute video of me like at 6 o'clock in the morning. I had been up all night. I was like, this is the plan. I have it all written out. Like, I'm showing you my notebook. I was like, we're going to get new devices, new phone numbers. We're going to, like, these are the rules of this is what you're going to do on this network with this Wi-Fi. And, like, you can't cross contaminate. And it was, yeah.
So how did you guys get out of it? Let's get to that part. Like, how did you guys fix the problem? Or so to speak, like, I don't even know if it's really fixed right now. Like, it's a Band-Aid, right?
So, with all the new accounts, the new business, the new everything, we used those new accounts and new emails to create new Instagram, new Facebook, new business manager, and we started from scratch. And so we leveraged debt, and then we started using the same strategies that you had given us,
Yeah.
to basically.
So as of now, just so everyone can picture it, like you guys have like the weird Instagrams with the weird names and like,
Oh yeah, so like with that, like paid a fucking guy in Dubai to like make a legacy verified account.
yeah.
So we
Did that part happen?
for one account. So we paid. He owes us $7,000 in deliverables.
Yeah.
Because he's like a fucking middleman, has no control over it, and we're just even paying for more shit. I'm like, dude, deliver on the shit, paid you for it, and maybe I'll pay you more.
Yeah.
But not. Either way, yeah. So now I got a weird fucking username from Egypt, Gothy GOTHI.EG. So like people are like, who the fuck is this guy? Doesn't matter. Makes sense.
He's not easy. I'm curious, like, how are you able to make sales with that username?
Just follow the fucking process, man.
Yeah.
Do the messaging, do the outreach, actually, it turns out it was like actually kind of a blessing in disguise because I wasn't taking content like super seriously. Like we were putting it out. And I kept saying for, I don't know, the whole year, I'm like, I got to start taking this more seriously. We got to start taking this more seriously. And we're like, fuck, we don't have a choice. So I was at like 8,000 some followers from an account that I've been posting on for a long fucking time. And now I've had this account for like six weeks, maybe 7 weeks.
Since March. Yeah.
Yeah, like 6 or 7 weeks. And I'm already at like 8,000 followers again. Right. Yeah. So it's like following the processes that we've gotten from you.
Just organic, like posting stuff.
Yeah. Well, with some boosts.
Okay.
Yeah, some boosts and stuff. But we're able to outperform everything that we were doing before because now we're like really kind of assessing the content and seeing like where it goes and like playing the game of like, hey, look at what's already like the shit that you talk about in your videos for YouTube advice. We just took that and applied it to Instagram of like find the shit that works that's already fucking viral and then just like make it up. And then I'm doing like some of those where you find a viral post, like if it's something over 100,000, like I'll just like make a video of me watching it and reacting to it, or like the green screen thing, and then we just fucking boost it, and then DMing fucking everybody with a VA. And now what?
Yeah, and your guys' numbers from what I saw is like I think before you guys were like a 20x. I mean, it was something crazy. Yeah. Even not, but now though, it's like I still think it was like 5.
Yeah,
we're ramping back up. Basically, when we started from scratch, as we started getting exposure to the audience on Instagram again, it wasn't all target audience. Right. So it took a while for us to hone in with the algorithm on getting the right.
Yeah. So when we first started with the account that I had a couple thousand physical therapists who rehab chiros that were already following me. So we could use like use target people like your audience function. When when I got this fucking Egypt account, I had 700 followers that were all fucking from Egypt, and like everything was in like Arabic and shit. I'm like, what the fuck, right? So then like trying to like use the targeting and get in front of the right people, like that was a little bit of a process. But once we started pulling them in, then it really started to take off. Now we've got the right followers. Which is why we made like how much did we make when we were in Mexico last week?
Yeah, we made like. Was that also like 69,000 last week? Or yeah. 69,000 last week with like 40 something collected.
Yeah, that's like how much? I think it was like 5K spend or something. What was it?
10K spend.
10K spend.
That's also though because
so that's what you guys spend a week. You spend 10K in a week.
No, that was over the course of the month.
Oh,
we didn't really start. So I'm thinking of our monthly numbers, but like most of it came from the sales calls that were last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit over like from some other weeks, but like when she was doing the meditation retreat in Mexico, I was just fucking sitting by the fountain having fucking sales calls, taking like what I had like 7, fucking 8 a day. which kind of sucked at first because I hadn't done sales in like fucking however long. I was like, oh, a little rusty here. It's been, a month and a half or whatever. So I probably could have converted, but like the first couple were like, I'm like, oh, fuck these shitty leads. I'm like, no, it's me. I suck right now. Right. And then it's just, we've just been able to get in front of the right audience now. And now it's a lot more responsive because we don't have a bunch of fucking Egyptian and Arabic followers.
But how did that start? Like you did targeting with your boosted post, and now it's like more of the physical therapist. Then you can go back to automatic targeting.
Yeah, first we had to like try to do like the age and the location and the interest, and it's like can't target with those settings like physical.
Right.
And it's like so we had to like target more general audiences, which was drawing in a variation of where we wanted to be, like strength coaches and personal trainers. I'm like, all right, we're fucking almost there, right? We're in the realm of where we want to be. And then we started getting the physical therapist, and then it took off. I mean, fuck, we spent $700 a day on boosted posts, like just trying to test shit. We're like, we're just gonna fucking throw because we're like, all right, we're in a timeline. We could put less money towards this and take more days, or we can just throw a shit ton of money at it and just pivot as fast as we can.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. You just gotta move quick.
Yeah. So we're like, how much can we fucking spend? Let's spend as much as we possibly can and just test as much different shit as we can until we find a thing that hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the audience, so they understand, explain kind of the main lead generation strategy. So like you post content, like talk about the boosted and that type of stuff, just so they understand that.
Yeah. So we post organic content, and the things that perform the highest organically, we just boost on Instagram.
Keep track of KPIs for like what's performing well. If something's not performing well, we kill it and then try different things.
Right now we got 2 that are running, and we're getting like 70-cent followers. Yeah. So it's like 70-cent followers that are also mostly in the fucking qualified realm that we want them to be, right? The avatar. So we boost the posts, and then we have a VA that we pay $3. Well, we got multiple VAs that we pay $3 an hour. That's just like fucking DM open every single person that likes, comments, follows, watches my story, or any of that stuff, and just opens the conversations. And I hop in there and ask them a couple questions, and then ask if they want to hop on a call.
Yeah.
Move them over to sales call and make some money, change your life.
Yeah. So Roger does all the sales with all of that, and I've set up all of the automations with the help of like Elite 360 and meeting.
So Elite 360's so nice.
Yeah.
So if anybody's thinking about it, you guys should fucking just do it. Like that's what I was saying. Like on the back end, like so much shit was not talking to each other. And then Lisa's in there. She's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like, we don't know. That's why we need your help.
Yeah.
So like, okay, we're gonna unfuck this right now.
Okay, so I mean, I think that's just good for people to hear, like the adversity, because I think a lot of people crumble when that happens.
Caitlin was like, "How much do you trust me?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like,
I was like, we're not only going to 0, we're going in the multiple negatives.
"Yeah, so we gotta."
So it's in the plan.
Yeah, but like, we're gonna hustle, dude. Like, we'll do whatever the fuck it takes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, which is rare. Like it's rare. Like most people won't. I think. I mean, they say that a little, but they won't.
yeah, it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
But the thing, like, I think it's scary because people don't trust themselves to do the fucking work, right? Like, I know that if we put all this money in, we take this risk, we fucking do the thing. It's like both of us are gonna work around the clock and do whatever it takes to make it work.
Yeah. I think the whole thing too is like the situation overall, like, yeah, it was big and scary, and it was like, fuck, we just keep digging a hole. But if you just look at, can I take this next step and put all my focus on that next step? Like, it's just about crossing that into the second step and then the third step.
Plus, we already went 0 to 120K. I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna do it again.
Right. What makes you guys so driven? Like, what's kind of the driver behind you guys wanting to push?
I don't think I thought about it.
Yeah, I don't.
The love of the fucking game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We our relationship is very much driven on like just building and growing and development. Like, so we're both
In business, but like also as humans.
like I said, we're both like huge on personal development, and we just like do fucking hard things intentionally, and we're always going out of our way to like get personal development coaches, find where we can be better in a relationship. We did this fucking 3-day relationship retreat, which was not a fucking retreat. It was like 3 days of intense therapy in somebody's house. Fucking call it a retreat. It's bullshit. But like, we do all of that stuff of like, where can we get better? And it's like, we have been working on building a business for so long with our crash practices, and we're pivoting here. And it's like, okay, here's the answer. Because failure is not even a fucking choice.
Well,
right?
failure is a choice. It's,
Well, no, like to us. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, failure is a choice. And it's like, if we just do the thing, like it will fucking work. We already know that it worked. We've already done it once, right? Yeah, we could be like, oh, poor us and be little fucking bitches, but that's all it is you're just being a little bitch. Like fucking, yeah, shit happened. You fucking get over it. Do you want to be successful or not?
I think part of it is like you have to be dumb enough to like take some of the risks, but also smart enough to figure out alternative solutions. And like a lot of that is just doing what people tell us. Like we invest in everything that's important to us.
I guess that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
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 Yeah. There's so many just different pillars of life. And like my biggest thing that I've always said is I don't want to get to the end of my life and be like, wow, Caitlin, you could have grown more.
Yeah.
Also, like listening to Hormozy's shit. Right? He's like, if you just like put in enough work, where it'd be unreasonable for you to fail.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what we do. Like we'll just work so hard and so much. We'll do all the things where it's just fucking unreasonable that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like most people are like, oh, I need a break. I need this whatever.
Right.
Even
of
like
course.
other entrepreneurs looking at, why are you working so hard? And you're like,
Why aren't you working so hard?
yeah, I remember when we had the clinic and like the most of the day, probably until 5 o'clock, we'd be at the clinic and then we would be doing the PRA stuff, building that business. The rest, I mean, we were working
Through the night.
18-hour days, like 7 days a week.
18 to
nonstop.
20, 18 to 20 hour days.
And I remember like every maybe 3-4 weeks, there would be one Friday that we came home and just like melted into the couch and we would watch like an episode of The Last Kingdom and just,
Please fucking do nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then wake up
that
and
feeling.
get back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so in terms of your guys' success, obviously you guys are very driven, etc. What are other skills you guys think you've acquired that have been the most helpful? Like, what would you say? It's like, man, this like learning this skill has really just helped me over and over again, or maybe even skills that you guys had to learn that you wish you had known sooner.
I think questioning the norm or like questioning what you've been told.
I think that's a skill. Yes.
I mean, I guess it's like a way of approaching things. I guess approach things differently in business and be, I don't know how to say that.
I don't know where you're going, so I can't help you out. I got a different answer, or more practical answer. Caitlin has gotten really fucking good at all the back end stuff, right? Learning with Lisa and doing all that. Like she can set the fucking funnels up. She can do all this. She can set the automations up. She can make sure everything talks to each other. So having even more like organization on the back end and being able to see how like a lead 360 set up and like just fucking having something good to model has helped us learn exponentially faster, right? On that end of the process. And then on the other end, on the like the forward facing sales end, like I've invested heavily in sales training, right? Like I've worked with fucking Eli Wild. I've worked with Jeremy Meyer and his fucking like mastermind group. I've worked with the traffic and funnel guys. Like did some Sam Ovens shit. Like I've spent a lot of money on learning sales, but I was always selling for somebody else and how to like play by their rules a little bit. So learning like as a business owner, like just blew my mind. Like I talked to Cam about so many times when you're like, yeah, dude, like it's your fucking business. You can do whatever you want. Like you can price drop, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm like, why did I not fucking think of that? Right. So instead of being able to like customize the solution to make it fit, right, based on like what's going to be profitable for us to make money instead of $0, right? Like that has been super helpful. And then just listening to the way that you actually personally handle a lot of the objections and things like that. Like some of it's similar to things that I've been taught, but it's like your mannerisms and the way that you're just so fucking nonchalant and like you're a very blunt person, right? Which like I love how you're just like no nonsense about fucking everything. So taking that approach and like being able to apply that into sales and like reframing some things has been fucking great for getting the close rate up even more. And then on the back end, even taking from that and applying like your no nonsense, like this is the fucking data, like this is what I'm suggesting. If you don't want to fucking listen, that's fine, right? Do whatever the fuck you want. It's your business, but like you're dumb. Kind of if you like do this thing, like it doesn't make any sense. Taking that and applying that to our own business and like with talking to people in a similar manner.
I think so for me it's organization, but it's also being able to delegate roles because as there are more and more things to do, like yes, there's the automations, there's the organization on the back end, but not having to reinvent the wheel and retrain somebody every time you hire them. So I started building like onboarding, basically Loom vaults of this is how we do everything, and organizing it on the back end. And so then it made it so much easier and so much more streamlined, and people have resources when you hire them to know what they're doing, to go back to, and then like you don't have to be the one that answers all the questions either.
You also fucking fire people a lot faster.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Like what? Like in the past, did you guys not do that?
Fire people fast?
Yeah.
Yeah. We would give them a lot more
Short
grace.
answer is no.
Yeah.
Short answer is no. But it's like, oh, like we can just train them, we can do this, like they can get there. And it's like, nope, you fucking suck. Like we'll give you a little training, we'll like get you up to speed. And then it's like, if you're just dumb, like if I tell you to do something, you can't fucking do it, like then I don't need you on the team.
I think I was nervous to like scare or to fire somebody if they just want a good culture fit. I was like, oh, is that bad? And it's like, no, you don't fit in with the work ethic. You don't fit in with what we do here. Um, I don't think I was confident enough to do that.
I was also being a little bitch along the way too, because I was treating so much in the clinic. I just let her make a lot of decisions. And she's like, what do you think? I'm like, what the fuck you want? Instead of like making a fucking decision.
Right.
And now I'm just like, fuck that, fire this person. Fuck that, we're doing this. Fuck that, we're doing this. Like, and I just make it.
I the way I look at teams now is I genuinely think, pretend you're playing team captain in the high school, not even high school, probably junior high school or whatever. And you pick the best players first. Why? Because they're more helpful. Why? Because they're better. Why? Because they have more skills. So I just think a lot of the leadership stuff out there is not good because it assumes everyone's smart, but everyone's not smart. And so trying to make a 3 become a 7, it's like he's still average. Like he's still okay at best, and you're putting in so much work. But if you just find like the best player and you put them in, it's like they need little tweaks, and so it's just so much more beneficial to the team. And that took me a long time, but like now, I think a great hack someone can do is you just write down every single person on a list, and you decide if you had to start your whole business over, who would you keep? And it's like, if you are not like, yeah, I definitely would, like, it's not the right player usually.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's another skill that we've learned, right? By following because we'll use like your outlines and hiring process, and we go through a lot of that stuff as well. And that's been super helpful with helping us get those better people as well. Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have any non-negotiables? Non-negotiables meaning like just, it could be anything. It's like, I have to work out, I have to do this, or stuff you won't do that you feel plays a factor into why you guys are successful?
100%. One, we don't drink. Neither of us have had it ever. And
In the last few years.
yeah, over 2 years.
For sure.
Over 2 years. Well, okay, so a couple reasons for that. One, I'm a dick when I drink, right? So I don't need to be an asshole to anybody. I've like fucked my life up enough times with alcohol. Woke up and I'm like, I don't know what I did, but like I've got the sense of anxiety. Like I fucked something up. I don't know what it is, right? And like being an asshole to her or whatever it is, like, so that's one thing. But then also, like, we got shit to do. I don't have time to drink, because if I have a drink, usually if I have one, I'll have 2, then I'll have 12, and it's like, but even if I have one, if I do have the self-control to have one, then it's like nothing gets done for the rest of the day.
And it slows you down even the next day.
Yeah, and then like the next day, like I'm foggy, and it's like we don't have time for that. So we just had a conversation around it. Like, yeah, we're just not gonna do that ever.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't notice, until I probably when I got my 30s, but I feel like I'm a step slower. So I'm assuming 40s like you're 2 steps slower, 50s 3, something like that. But like even the Whoop watch, I don't get too crazy with it, but for the most part, when it's like says I feel good, like I feel good. When it says I feel like shit, I'm like, yeah, I feel like shit. And when I drink, I always notice my recovery is worse, like for sure. It's like absolutely even 1 or 2 drinks, like, yeah, it fucks up my sleep, it fucks up my recovery. I don't feel as good the next day. It's just not good for you in general. It's like you're basically just choosing to like not recover.
Yeah. So
I think in addition to not drinking, fitness is also a non-negotiable. I think especially too because that flexes like the discipline muscle, because you don't always want to go work out, but having discipline around your own health and your own fitness allows you to show up as a leader. It allows you to show up in your business. If you feel good, you're gonna be able to do more.
dedication, consistency, the delayed gratification, the
People just
doing.
respect you more.
Yeah, really fucking fit people. They do respect you a lot more. Just period, right? Like you're fucking Jack, you walk into a room, people are like, oh shit, I want to talk to that guy.
It also shows that like you do what you say you're
Right.
consistently.
Yeah, so the fitness is a non-negotiable. I mean, shit, we're like both, what do we say, 30 pounds lighter than you were last time we were here,
Yeah.
which is fucking crazy.
Well, a lot of that went into gut health too.
Yeah, but it's still fucking crazy
Yeah.
because health is a priority. And then I'm also like 20 pounds later. I was intentionally gaining weight, but I just took it too far, got fat. So health, fitness, and personal development, like intentional inner work.
Yeah.
That's like non-negotiable for us
I think
as well.
personal development is probably like my number. I mean, they're all really, really important, but I would say personal development is like the number one thing to grow and evolve and like, I don't know, fix your bullshit. Like once you're aware of something, you have no excuse to not fix it. It's a responsibility at that point.
When you guys say personally develop, like what does that mean to you? Like how do you personally develop?
So, like for me, it was working through negative patterns that like ways that I would behave in relationships, like reacting instead of responding. Like if I feel triggered or something upsets me, well, why? If I think it's just the way that I perceive the world or the filter through which I look at it. Uh, that's a lot of how I look at personal development, and then looking at okay, who is the future me? How does she behave? How does she feel? And what do I need to change within myself to become her?
Oh, yep. So that's a big part of it. It's like, Jeff Bezos didn't become a fucking billionaire and then start making billionaire decisions and thinking like one. It's like you change who you are and then the result comes afterwards, right? You have to change the way you're thinking so you can change your behavior in the moment so you can get to where you want to go. Because what got you here won't get you there. And that's the thing that like we both firmly believe is that like business success piggybacks on the back of massive personal development, right? Like you can't have a fucking 8-figure business and be a 6-figure CEO.
Right.
It's like you need to be that person. And if you can't be that person, you'll fucking never get there. So like to us, it's like the people in your life, your relationships, like your relationship with yourself, the way you talk to yourself, but then also just investing in other skills along the way. Like we're constantly reading something or in probably multiple courses at the same time for whatever it is, right? Like I want to get better at public speaking. So we fucking did a public speaking master class for a fucking week from somebody in Australia at 2 a.m. because they're in fucking Australia. But it's like all of these skills that we find of like, hey, we can be better at this, whatever the skill is. Let's find somebody we can pay to shortcut the process for us, right? One, accountability, but then two, like you're already there. Why would I fucking struggle to figure it out on my own when I could just pay you and get there a lot fucking faster? So it's the personal inner work, and then like what other skills can we learn that are gonna be helpful down the road?
What is I was like end with this question is what's a question I should have asked you guys that I didn't that you think would be helpful? Could be anything. If you can't think of something, that's okay too. It's a difficult question.
Go ahead.
I think the biggest change between like who we are and who we were even when we first met and like the level of business that we were playing at then versus what we're playing at now is in the ability to take risks. Like if you can lean in when something is scary and take a risk and trust yourself to figure it out, that's how you'll get rewarded.
Yeah, you gotta take massive risks if you want massive rewards. Period. You play it safe, you make the safe decision, like stay in your comfort zone, like you're just gonna fucking stay in your comfort zone. And everything that we've done has been so far outside of our comfort zone. What was I gonna say? Well, I had a
Yeah.
question, but I forgot it.
I can give a little bit more context on like some of the risks that we've taken. So, I already shared that like if we took out $100,000 line of credit when we had absolutely probably no business doing that, but we trusted in ourselves. But like we've been at the point before where we were growing both businesses and like, you walk into a shit storm and then like we've been at the point where we looked at each other and we're like, shit, like are we gonna have to figure out how to lay people off or are we gonna figure it the fuck out? Um, like even with Meta banning us, we've looked at each other and been like, all right, how much do you trust me? Because I'm about to fuck us up right now. And yeah, it's just like how much shit can you eat before you quit? And if you just don't quit, like you'll be a lot
Yeah, you'll make it.
better.
Yeah, we can't lose if we don't quit.
Yeah.
For people who want to connect with you guys, what's the best place to go? Maybe besides, I don't know, maybe it's Gothy, not whatever it is.
Yeah, you can hit me up on Instagram.
We just
See, Matt.
started our new YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the Performance Rehab Authority podcast.
Because we had to fucking move that over too because we lost access to all of our emails and everything. He's fucking crazy. Yeah. You can hit me up at gothy, GOTHI.EG. Fucking ridiculous.
And mine's create with Caitlin _
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing that I would that I was thinking would be helpful is like, because there's a lot of people I'm sure that like listen to your podcast that are maybe like in your free group or maybe in your paid group and like they're on the edge and like, oh my god, should I invest? Should I not invest? And it's like, what makes us invest in business coaching? And I kind of hit it a little bit earlier, is that like why should people invest, or like what do you think holds people back from really truly achieving like their potential and growing to where they want to be? Because they are scared to hire a coach, or like, well, I can figure it out on my own if I fucking try hard enough. Yeah, and that's fucking dumb,
Yeah.
right? To me, I think it's fucking dumb, right? Like,
Your life could be so different.
yeah, like maybe we could have figured all this shit out eventually, right? But like we wouldn't be making the money that we're making in the meantime. It's way easier for us to take risks knowing that we have you in your team and that you're gonna fucking bend over backwards to fucking help us out because we paid you money with your fucking job, but also because you're a good fucking guy. You know what I mean? So like, we know that if we have these big things, we're like, we hit you up like, dude, we got this fucking Instagram thing. Like, what do we do? You know, and then we fucking hustle. And then it's like, all right, cool. We hit this roadblock. We hit this. Like, hey, we're thinking about doing this. And you're like, don't do that. That's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Right? Or like, why would you take the focus away from the thing that's working to do something that's not working? It's like hiring a coach just massively shortcuts the process if they've already done what you want to do, especially if they're already helping other people successfully do what you want to do. Because the fucking path is paved. You just got to do what somebody else has already done to be successful. And you could try to figure it out. And people are afraid to fucking spend money. It's just you're just never going to get that. To learn to get over the fear of spending money.
Yeah.
You need an abundance mindset. Like that's why I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever we got to pull for the line of credit, wherever we can pull it from, like that's fine because we're gonna make it back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, kudos to you guys for being able to push through. Like it's uncommon, I would say. You know, I've worked with a million people. It's like uncommon to see someone be able to handle that amount of stress. Like, you know, I mean, there's people who handle 10 times less, and it's like, you're fine. Like, your ad turned off. Like, just click the button, or, you know, like, it's not something that stressful. So kudos to you guys for doing that. I'm excited to see where you guys go, and thanks for being on the pod.
Thanks.
All right.